You drop your kids off for a sleepover. Nice house, nice family, bedtime written in Sharpie on the fridge. You drive home thinking, nailed it, parent of the year. Then it's 2 a.m. The phone rings. Your child is crying. Shaky voice. Can't explain why. Just wants to come home. Nothing bad happened, but something felt off. And suddenly, you're wondering, what actually goes on when I'm not there? This isn't paranoia, because somewhere along the way, we were told sleepovers build independence. But what if they're doing the exact opposite when we're not even noticing? In this video, I'll explain why I banned sleepovers in my house, and why more parents are starting to do the same. The sleepover myth. We've been sold this glittery, Pinterest-powered fantasy. Matching pajamas, giggles and blanket forts, pillow fights under fairy lights while someone films it for their mommy blog. Sleepovers equal childhood magic. That's the dream. Here's the reality. Kids up till 3 a.m. chugging Fanta like frat bros, watching YouTube content their parents would never allow, while whispering things that would make a therapist retire early. And yet somehow, the sleepover has become mandatory. Like, if you don't let your kids spend the night in someone else's house with people you barely know, you're ruining their social development and probably guaranteeing lifelong therapy. But let me ask you this. When did spending unsupervised nights in random homes become a parenting requirement? When did, no thanks, we'll pick her up by 9 p.m., start feeling like a felony? The truth? Sleepovers aren't what they used to be. The risks have multiplied. The supervision's vanished, and the pressure to say yes, off the charts. So what changed? Back in the day, the worst thing that could happen at a sleepover was someone throwing up Fruit Loops at 2 a.m. Now, every kid shows up with the entire internet in their pocket at 10 years old. At sleepovers, kids trade devices like Pokemon cards. Want to see something my parents blocked? Look at what my cousin sent me on Snapchat. No one's watching. Let's Google stuff we're definitely not supposed to. There's zero oversight because somewhere along the line, parental supervision turned into date night. Old school parents stayed home during sleepovers. New school parents use them as a break. Grab a glass of wine, throw on Netflix, and mentally clock out. But here's the problem. Today's home dynamics are a Rubik's Cube. Blended families, new partners, rotating custody, mystery adults wandering in and out like it's The Sims. And when everyone's in charge, no one really is. Here's what we know now that we didn't before. Most dangers don't come from strangers. It comes from people your child already knows, in familiar places when you're not there. That knowledge, it should change how we think about harmless overnight stays. 97% of parents still say yes to sleepovers without asking these questions. If you're even thinking differently after this, you're already in the 3% that Sticko made this channel for. Hit subscribe. We go there, so you don't have to go through it. The real risks no one talks about. All right, let's stop dancing around. 68% of abuse happens at the hands of family members. 90%, someone the child already knows. Not strangers, not the weird guy in the van. People who've earned your trust or borrowed it. And here's the part nobody wants to say out loud. Predators love sleepovers because access is disguised as fun and silence gets labeled as shyness. This isn't rare. 1 in 4 girls, 1 in 6 boys. By age 18, that many kids have experienced inappropriate contact. And yet, we still RSVP to every invite with, sure, what should they bring? But it's not just the worst case scenario. It's also emotional abuse, bullying, domestic violence in the background, older kids introducing younger ones to things they're not ready for, conversations kids shouldn't hear, let alone internalize. Then layer in sleep deprivation, because nothing says great judgment like being 8 years old, tired, overstimulated, and trying to impress peers at 1 a.m. Suddenly, your kid's doing things they'd never do at 2 p.m. with a sandwich and supervision. So here's the sanity check. Would you leave your child alone with this group of people for 12 hours during the day? If not, why does adding darkness, pajamas, and sugar make it acceptable? The peer pressure industrial complex. Ah, yes. Sleepovers, once an occasional treat. Now, a full-blown social currency system built on cupcakes and sleeping bags. It starts at school. Birthday invites get handed out like golden tickets. And suddenly, your 9-year-old's asking why Mia got a sleepover and she didn't. Teachers casually say things like, "Sounds like you girls had fun at the party this weekend." Translation, "Welcome to Sleepover Olympics. Hope your family brought their A game." Then come the social media avalanche. Photos of blanket forts, matching PJs, best night ever, posted at 1 a.m. when your child stares at the screen thinking, "Why wasn't I there?" Parents aren't immune either. You start wondering, are we ruining our kids' social life because we didn't buy glow-in-the-dark slumber sacks from Etsy? Say no to a sleepover, and suddenly you're not just a bad parent, you're a buzzkill. Overprotective, anxious, the fun police with bedtime alarms and safety spreadsheets. But here's the truth no one Instagrams. The family's quietly saying no. They're not paranoid, they're strategic. They've done the math, weighed the risks, and realized one night of pizza and sugar-fueled chaos just isn't worth the possible fallout. And if that makes you unpopular with other moms, good. You didn't become a parent to win sleepover approval ratings. Alternatives that actually work. Sleepover FOMO is real, but here's the secret. Your kid doesn't actually need the sleep part to have fun. Let them stay for pizza, laugh through the movie, build the pillow fort, then pick them up at 10:30 like a ninja with snacks. Boom! 90% of the fun, 0% of the risk. Worried they'll miss out if they never host? Great news! You can be the cool house without being the unsupervised house. Host at yours, set the vibe, choose the movies, control the internet access. Know exactly which 8-year-old's trying to teach your kid about Tinder. And if you want bonding without bedtimes altogether, try the non-sleepover sleepover. Movie night plus pancakes equal win. Late night playdates, Saturday hikes, costume parties that end at 8 p.m. Same friends, same giggles, 0 awkward next morning hangovers for them or you. Even better, teach your kids what most adults never learn. You don't have to say yes to everything. Just because everyone's going doesn't mean you need to. That's not antisocial. It's wise. And if people call you overprotective, cool. Let them protect vibes. You'll protect your kid. The bonus, when you surround yourself with other parents who get it, you stop feeling like the weird one. You're not the only one saying no. You're just one of the few saying it on purpose. Handling the "you're ruining my life" phase. So you said no to a sleepover, and now your child is sobbing like you canceled their birthday, Christmas, and oxygen in one sentence. "They're all going. You're the only one who won't let me." Classic. Also, totally temporary. This isn't the end of their social life. It's the start of their resilience. Your job isn't to keep them popular. It's to keep them safe, even if that means being the mean parent for a hot second. Other parents might judge you. Let them. While they're trading approval like Pokemon cards at the PTA meeting, you're busy protecting your actual kid. And guess what? Some friendships will shift, but that's not a loss. It's a lifter. Friends who require matching sleepover rules, not real friends. Friends who respect your family boundaries, solid gold. Your child won't be socially stunted. They'll be emotionally smarter. Because what actually builds strong friendships? Lego battles, inside jokes from daylight playdates, not being half asleep in someone else's basement, dodging Nerf bullets and adult conversations. Let them be disappointed. Let them whine. Then model what it looks like to stand tall in your values, even when it's unpopular. That's not ruining their life. That's raising a leader. So, how do you actually say no without sounding like an overprotective villain or starting World War III at the birthday party? What to say without apologizing for it? Here's the truth. You don't owe anyone a 47-slide PowerPoint on why your kid sleeps in their own bed. But how you say it, that makes all the difference. Let's make it simple, friendly, non-negotiable. To your child, our family just does things a little differently. You can hang with your friends all day, but at night, you sleep where you're safe, right here. Translation, fun is allowed, risk isn't. To other parents, we don't do sleepovers, but Tommy would love to come over for a few hours Saturday afternoon. Warm, clear, no debate invite. When someone pushes for details, we've found this just works best for our family. End of TED Talk. You're not weird, you're intentional. For birthday parties, Hey, can we pick Angelica up at 9 instead of doing a sleepover part? Pro tip: most parents secretly love having fewer overnight guests. You're actually doing them a favor. Practice these lines until they roll off your tongue like muscle memory, because confidence is contagious, especially when setting boundaries. And when you model calm, firm choices, your child learns how to do the same. The long-term benefits, aka why your child will secretly thank you later. Kids who aren't sent to sleepovers like Amazon Prime packages, they learn something powerful. Home is their anchor, not just where they sleep, but where they feel safest, most heard, and fully themselves. They build tighter bonds with you, not just their friends' older siblings showing them weird TikToks at 1 a.m. They stay innocent a little longer. Not naive, just not rushed into adult conversations or drama they're not ready to process. They don't constantly shapeshift to fit in with whoever they're sleeping next to. Instead, they learn to hold their own. They grow up knowing, my parents cared more about me than what other parents thought. That trust, it pays dividends all the way through the teen years and beyond. They develop actual decision-making muscles because they're not constantly tossed into social chaos without backup. And maybe most importantly, they learn something most adults struggle with. Saying no to pressure is not rude. It's self-respect, which, let's be real, is more valuable than any goodie bag full of melted marshmallows and broken slap bracelets. The reality check. Every parent knows a sleepover horror story, whether it happened to their kid, themselves, or someone else. We tell ourselves they're rare, but they're not. The question isn't if something bad will happen, it's whether the risk is worth it when safer alternatives exist. Your child's safety matters more than social convenience or peer pressure, because every kid who was hurt at a sleepover wishes their parents had said no, and that should be enough. Sleepovers come and go. Trauma doesn't. That's why, in this house, bedtime happens right here, with Wi-Fi controls and a door that actually locks. Sticko's rule: friends leave at 9, but your kid's peace of mind stays overnight.